Isn't that a vein in your head? Your arm, she said, holding out hers. It was a thin, freckled arm, finely covered with reddish gold hairs, except for the part that was wrapped in reddening gauze. But cephalization is the form of neural structures in the head. He knew this from his biology training, so that doesn't make any sense that it would be in your arm. And yet it is. But that doesn't make sense. Why was he fighting with her? Are you a biologist? She shook her head. I'm actually a nurse, she said, in Philly, which is too bad, because if I were in Philly, I'd probably get some kind of professional courtesy. But of course, I have to cut myself in Princeton, where nobody knows me. And so, she said grandly, I wait. Was it really a can of caviar? Who would make that up? Does it hurt? No worse than your wrist, she said, looking at the wrist he was cradling. Her gaze was pointed. His wrist was in his lap. Andy crossed his legs. Oh, these ridiculous bicycle shorts. How long do you think I'm going to wait, anyway? She asked, raising her almond-colored eyes. I've been here since 8:30. Christ, she said. It's almost noon. Is it? Could he say to her that time stopped the second he first caught sight of her and her hair? She leaned back against the chair, closed her eyes. She had long black lashes, thick like a paintbrush. She breathed in and out deeply, as though she were a person preparing to sleep. Andy hadn't spent time with a woman with anything like regularity in months. Most of his friends in the department were male, and Rosenblum, of course, and even the plurality of his students. How nice it was, he thought, to talk to a woman, to this beautiful woman. What are you doing in Princeton? He asked, even though she gave no indication she wanted to keep talking. Boyfriend, she said, her eyes still closed. Oh, Andy said. He did not feel dejected, because he had never considered himself an actual candidate to become this woman's boyfriend. The fact that she already had one couldn't be a deterrent from a position he had never considered occupying. How could he ever be this woman's boyfriend? The women Andy dated were severe, prone to nervous breakdowns over their studies. When they cut themselves, it was usually on purpose. Where is he now? He had to study. He's got his math orals coming up. So he just dropped you here? I know, right? She opened her eyes. It's probably time to get a new boyfriend. But before Andy could follow that tantalizing lead, what kind of new boyfriend? And where would you go looking for this new boyfriend? A woman with a clipboard appeared in the doorway to the examining room. Wait, Andrew Waite? He stood. Is she telling you to wait? The woman said. Lou asked him this. She was sitting up again, and the gauze around her wrist looked ever darker with blood, and he wanted to pick her up and carry her off to a better place, or, at the very least, give her his place in line. Instead, he said, That's my last name, Waite. Oh, she said. Do you want my turn? She smiled at him again, gently, as though he were a fool. You look like you're in worse shape than I am, he said in a rush. Seriously, I'll be fine. You should take my turn. You're bleeding to death. She shook her head, and a curl of that hair fell into her face. That's nice, she said. Thank you, that's really nice. But you should go ahead. I'm not going to die. Andy felt himself heartened by this. This girl wasn't going to die. Louisa, he did not yet know she was Louisa, said she wasn't going to die. And he did not yet know that he shouldn't believe her. Okay, he said, and followed the beckoning of the woman with the clipboard, and when he turned to look at her one more time, she winked at him, and he was fairly certain he blushed back. He wished once more that he was wearing a different pair of shorts. Hank Rosenblum, Andy's friend, mentor, and guide to all things masculine, who had been divorced 4 times, yet paradoxically considered himself an expert on women, said that she had just been looking to flirt. In